Hey, what's up, guys? It's Joby and Stevo coming at you from We the People. We wanted to make a video for you guys out there who are first timers who have never been to the range, or for some of you guys who have been and had a bad experience. We just want to share a couple of our experiences with you and some tips on what to expect when you go to the range. So I hope you guys enjoy. Thanks. Alright, guys. The first thing I wanted to talk about today was what to expect when you go to the range. And I just wanted to say that when you go, don't be nervous. It's not a big deal when you go to the range. It's just a regular business, just like Walmart, Target, Academy, whatever. Just except they have a gun range in the back, and they're there to help you guys out. So if you have any questions or you have any problems or concerns or anything, just feel free to ask, and they'll be more than willing to help you guys out. And so don't feel awkward when you go. Just have a good time, enjoy yourself, relax, and ask as many questions as you have. So that's all I have to say about what to expect when you first go. So when you're going and you want to take your weapon with you, let's see, I have my rifle here for you guys for demonstration. When you're gonna go, don't carry your weapon in like this. When it's like this, you might know it's unloaded, but the people around you aren't gonna know. So make sure that when you go, you take your mags out, push those to the side, and you lock your bolt back like this. So if you have to carry your rifle in, they can see your bolts open, you have no magazine, there's no ammunition in this rifle, so it is a safe weapon to carry around. So I would suggest doing that if you have to, if you don't have a gun bag or something like that. Let's see. A couple gun bags we have here. Joe has his, I have mine. I got this one from a local gun shop here in Austin for $30. It's plain Jane. It does what I need it to do. It holds my AR. I can carry it in the store, and people know it's in a safe container, that it's not gonna, that I can't fire it from outside this container. So when I'm carrying it around, people aren't too nervous about it. It's got mag pouches here. It's got zippered pockets here. Everything you need when you're going to the range, I can fit into this bag. So it's a good suggestion. It's a good thing to get if you want. There are better ones out there. There are worse ones out there, but this is the one that I found that I like. So that's about it on those. So if you're carrying in a pistol, same thing. Take your magazine out and lock back your slide so that they know that everything is safe with your gun. So that's about all I have for now. Joe?
Just like you was saying earlier, when you go into a range and if you don't have a bag, the main thing you want to do is to ensure that it's unloaded and make sure that everybody else knows it's unloaded, because they want to make sure that they're protected at all times. They want to make sure nobody's walking in without or anything like that. So I highly recommend you get a bag. Just like you was saying, mine's down here. I got the same thing. I picked this one up, I believe, at Academy for like $30 if I'm not mistaken. It's simple, just like his. It's got the mag pouches. It's got a side bag right here for tools and whatever else you need. You just turn it around and you can throw your weapon in there and you're good to go. So I highly recommend getting one of these. One of the things I want to talk about is pretty much the 5 simple rules that I tell everybody when they go to the range. Somebody told me when I first started getting into this, and it's always stuck in my mind. Usually when I take my fiance out with me, I explain the rules to her. I take my younger sister out with me, I explain the rules to her. It's simple, 5 simple rules. One of the main ones is you always want to treat the weapon as if it's loaded. Even though you know it's unloaded and everybody else knows it's unloaded, you always want to treat it and make sure it's unloaded. Rule number 2 is you always want to have your index finger, your trigger finger, straight across. You never want to put it on the trigger, even if you know it's unloaded. Just like he's showing you right there, you always want to make sure it's straight across at all times until you're ready to shoot. Rule number 3 is you always want to make sure that the safety is on at all times. Even though this, when I go to the range, always make sure the safety's on at all times. Right when I'm getting ready to shoot, I'll pull the trigger, I'll throw the switch onto a fire, pop off a couple rounds, take it, whatever I need to do. Once I'm done, as soon as I'm done and I know I'm done, I just pop it back on safety. That is the one main thing that I cannot express enough to you guys, is make sure it's always on safety till you shoot. When you're done, just throw it back and you're good to go.
And don't forget also, like on my pistol here, there is no external safety. So as you can see, there's a trigger safety. So like once again, what Joe was saying, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire.
Rule number 3 is always keep your weapon pointed down. You never want to keep it straight across anybody, nothing like that. No, I recommend always keeping it down. If you need to go around somebody, go around them as in the ground. The best way my instructor told me is that you always want to pretend like there is a laser, non-stop laser coming out of the barrel. And whatever that laser crosses, it's going to cut. And that's pretty much the same way you guys want to treat it. As if a laser's coming out, you always want to move it around people so that way you know you're covered at all times. The last rule, rule number 5 that I always tell people is be aware of your foreground. You know, when you guys are going to the ranges, they pretty much take care of that for you. But if you guys are out in the field taking shots at, you know, steel targets or old concrete bricks or whatever out there in the field, you always want to make sure what's in your forward background, because you don't want that bullet to travel through what you're hitting and taking something else out. I've seen it happen a lot of times in fields out there in somebody's old field that they don't use anymore. They end up taking out things that they shouldn't be, you know, taking out, and it's always a bad thing. So you always want to make sure that be aware of your foreground. Those are pretty much 5 basic rules that I tell people when they're at the range. Like I said, somebody told me when I first went in there, and I've never forgotten them until this day. They've been burned in my brain, and I will tell everybody until the end of time.
And most of your ranges will have their own rules. Like I know a couple of ranges in our city, you can't rapid fire your weapon. They want 1 second in between each shot. You know, I don't personally agree with, you know, that, but it's their range. So if you go, you have to abide by their rules. Certain limitations on
ammo,
like incendiary rounds or armor-piercing rounds. You can't shoot those indoors.
Yeah.
No bird shot or buckshot inside. Normally they just want you firing slugs from shotguns. You know, stuff like that. It's all posted at your range. And don't be afraid to ask. You know, hey, can I do this? And they'll say, no, you can't. And that's about it. It's better to ask beforehand than to get kicked out and banned for doing something stupid. And so. Also, don't forget your eye and ear protection. You always want to have that when you're shooting, no matter what. Most ranges that I know of, indoor places, like provide their own hearing and eye protection. But if you want something a little bit more comfortable, because I know they have the big, bulky muffs, you know, you can always buy your own. They obviously sell it there, and some nice safety glasses too, just in case. I mean, a lot of people don't want to do safety because it's a hassle, it's uncomfortable, it affects this and that, but it's always important just to have that, because your hearing is one thing you can't really get back. So just remember to do that, and just to be safe when you're out there and have a good time. And
yeah, I highly recommend that as well. I keep a spare of safety glasses and foam earplugs in my bag at all times, just in case wherever I'm at, they don't have any, at least I have backup. So I highly recommend buying some. Not much. You go to your local store, you can pick up the glasses for $5, $6, $7, the earplugs for a couple bucks. It's an investment worth having, because you never know when you're going to need them.
I personally like the foam ones better. I bought some expensive, like $30, $40 ones that I don't even wear because they're uncomfortable. So I mean, it's just whatever fits you. And
everybody's different.
Once you start going to the range a lot, you're gonna find that there's different things you're gonna want to bring, like a pen, a paper for taking notes on your shots, you know, or like a marker for highlighting groups, you know, on your targets, you know, things like that. Your own targets. If your gun range doesn't provide them, you can take your own. You know, just little things here and there that you just collect over time as you go to the range. You start building up, you know, your habits and what you need, and so it's a good time. I love going to the range. It's always a good time. I've never had a bad experience. It's a great time. That's all I can really say about it.
I mean, he's right on the money with that. You know, when you first go to the range, you don't have to take much, just your basic ear and eye protection. You take your weapon, you fire a couple rounds, you get used to it. But the more you go and the more you travel to different ranges, you'll see there's different things you need. Like you said, you'll start collecting things. I personally carry a notepad and a pen with me just in case. I always carry the tools with me to swap out my scope for a red dot if I need to. Like I said before, I carry the eye and ear protection at all times. But there's different things you'll want to carry with you. Lube, that's always important. You always want to make sure you have your oil for the gun, to make sure your gun is cycling right when you're out there in the field. Indoor, outdoor, it doesn't matter. Your preference, whatever it is you like. You guys will learn time after time that there's certain things that you guys will use and need out there. So, like you said,
that's about it, guys. Just relax, have a good time, enjoy yourself, and
be safe.
Yeah,
just be safe.
So, thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, let us know, and we'll be happy to answer those. And we hope you guys have a great day.
All right.
Later.
See you guys.